Things were looking well. Unfortunately, that was usually the case. Before something goes wrong. Some would argue that saying that invites disaster, but those that say that follow the religion of fools, also known as superstition. That was certainly the case after the fall of Winterhome was discovered. I decided that learning some more efficient hunting tactics would be prudent. It would allow us to use workers more efficiently as a byproduct. More supplies. And more survivors. Well, it would mean more to work with. After this, I had a decision to make regarding where to send the scout group next. I decided on the frozen grove, beyond the freshwater spring where we found those survivors. I knew that yes, it was taxing to say the least. To find a way to satisfy enough to prevent others from joining this group known as the Londoners. Do they truly believe? Rather, did they truly believe that heading back to London was the most prudent course of action? Please tell me they're joking. If London was safe, we wouldn't need to be here. Right now, there is nothing left for us in London other than to freeze to death. I highly doubt things would get any better in the foreseeable future. But I kept that to myself. Morale was low as it was. As for the next law, a morning gathering would be wise.
the city.
Something to rouse everyone from their apathy. The coverage of the watchtowers. It's not enough, is it? I was thinking.
Get to work. Move, people. There's plenty to do.
Perhaps if all were covered. And Tesla City, from what was written on this memorial, fared little better. A monument to lives sacrificed in the name of progress. Disgusting. Winterhome destroyed itself, and Tesla City considered life to be worthless. At that point I knew I was right. You either use your authority to serve others, or you use it to serve yourself, at the expense of others. And I can tell you that it leads to disaster, if the latter is chosen. Because it provided untold suffering to millions. Not just via the methods that I already mentioned. Oh yes, and at this point I decided to expand resource gathering capabilities. We would need it for what was coming. I recall a saying, too many cooks spoil the broth. The meaning of that is, too much involvement can actually make things worse. This can come in the form of too much bureaucracy slowing everything down. Trying to do too much. I often find that I should only get involved when I need to get involved. Otherwise, it's often best to have those assigned to a specific task or tasks do what they were assigned to do, and if there's nothing wrong, leave it alone. Or more specifically, leave them alone. And it seems that the steam hubs are as strong as the setting of the generator, as they're all connected. I decided that more storage would be a good thing to have. Although I suspect there's something wrong with what is being gathered. Although to make the steamworks, both of them, viable, a steam hub would be needed, and the coal mine would be needed to sustain the additional fuel consumption. Another night, and the scout party found a colony of exiles from Tesla City. Supplies and fuel were running low, so they sent the strongest of them to find help. we've already found them. We took these exiles with us. We can tell them what's happened to those that they sent for help. They would find out soon enough, once they were in relative safety. The homes were cold, so I promised them that I would heat at least 12 and keep them heated for the next couple of days. A difficult task with the lack of insulated homes, but not impossible. Perhaps a more efficient or productive, depending on how you think of it. Steel production facility or facilities would be a good idea at this point. As we always seem to be short of steel. Wood is quite common. It might help to have a child shelter. I thought at the time. Well, it could not hurt. And besides, it would slightly increase the rate that research is made. At this point, I could establish a new law. Guard stations.
New law! A new law has passed.
Yes. They would be more effective than watchtowers, as well as be better insulated. I would certainly need to build at least 2 of them. Well, have others build them for me. I certainly could not do it alone, even if I wanted to. Although I would, if the need arises. Yes, the OverDrive was looking to be dangerously high.
Order, people! Let's march to work!
It was definitely looking to be a good idea to improve the steel production facilities. As for the OverDrive, it was time for that to cool down somewhat. As for the coal supply, that would need to be remedied. Fairly soon. If necessary, the automaton can work on that during the night. While the more effectively heated solution was found. Meanwhile, I had someone research a more efficient power generation capability, where the same amount of heat could be produced for less fuel. We could spare the food for faster recovery, especially as more was coming. Although, I suspected that more food would be needed. It would also be wise to have an additional coal mine, along with a steam hub to provide heat for the human workers. to put the guard stations? They would need to be placed where they would be more effective. Then again, it might be easier to upgrade a watchtower to a guard station. It would certainly save on the cost of materials. Right. Where were we? Oh yes. The first watchtower was where I would eventually have more housing constructed. More supplies and more survivors were found. And the scouts part of the problem here was sent farther to the east. See what's there. Other than Tesla City. If Tesla City is somewhere beyond that colony of those exiled from there. Those that dealt in well, it was little better than human sacrifice. It certainly wasn't much worse. Considering what the Spanish found when they encountered the Aztecs. It was hardly surprising. Less coal at this point was needed to keep the fires going. The fires of warmth rather than of destruction. Am I the only one who believed that society before the frost came was one where those with any ability were kept fairly down the ladder, and those who were not fit to rule did so?